What's up, Slappers? I promised you a childhood reveal for 7 million subs, and guess what? This is the day. Epico. But I'm not gonna do just a childhood reveal. I'm gonna do something better. I just came up with this original idea. I'm gonna draw my life. From the day I was born till today. This was a very difficult and emotional video for me. And by the end of this video, you will know all the truth about my secret past. Slap like now if you are excited. And also I'm gonna announce the next big reveal at the end of this video. So watch till the end and subscribe. Let's just slap into it. So here we are, my epic story. I was born on the same day as my birthday, 26 years ago. Mind blowing, isn't it? In the city of Savona. I don't know if I already told you, but I am Italian, and I know what you're thinking. Was I born with headphones and bass? No, I didn't know anything about bass for most of my life. OMG. And that's the whole reason why I'm making this video. Noobs. I was already a pretty big baby, and after just 15 days I did a smile and laugh reveal to my parents, and I did a speaking reveal after 10 months, and my first word was Mama, which means mom. What did you expect? Bass? No sign of bass in my life yet. My early childhood was happy. I started going to preschool, where I met my first friends and also my best friend. We still hang out to this day. Incredible. I've always been the tallest kid ever. Checkmate, short kids. One night, my dad brought an epic surprise, a PlayStation 1. And that was my first experience with video games. And since then, I became an epic gamer. My first video game was Hercules, and I loved it. And after a while, I discovered Crash Bandicoot, which quickly became my favorite game, Epic. I've always been very shy. I like to do things by myself. In the summer, my parents usually brought me to the mountains for hikes and to breathe some fresh air. One day, we were in the swimming pool at our hotel. The water wasn't very deep, but I found myself underwater and I couldn't get up. I almost drowned until my dad pulled me out of the pool. I still don't know why that happened, LOL. Still no sign of bass in my life. When I hit 6 years old, my elementary school life started. I also had some problems in actually speaking. I would mispronounce words, so I went to a speech therapist, my first therapy session, and after a while this problem was solved. But I've always had a pretty unique voice. My voice has always been quite low, bassy and monotone. Maybe it was a sign bass was in my DNA. And other kids mocking me for it really hurt my confidence. My grades at school were okay. I hated geography and I loved science and math. My favorite number, 69. Playing video games was still my biggest interest, but I also loved magic. I wanted to become a magician. I also started practicing my first sports. I started with karate and then switched to volleyball. I liked the sports, but I didn't like playing matches because some teammates were not very nice to me. In the summer, I would go to the beach with my parents, while every winter I would go to the mountains skiing until one day I suddenly fell. I felt something was wrong. Long story short, I broke my leg at 9 years old, and since then I never skied again. It was 2003, and in these years I was a huge fan of WWE. I remember going to my friend's house, watching John Cena. It was epic, and I loved one move called Chop. I loved it so much that I got my first nickname, Chop. I hated elementary school lunch times, and it was in those times I discovered I didn't like fish. Anyway, the 5 years elementary school were over. We didn't have music classes yet, so that means I didn't know anything about bass. At 12 years old, we got a cat, very cute. I started the first 3 years of middle school, and we finally started to learn music. Our teacher let us choose between 2 instruments, keyboard and recorder. What? Not bass? SMH. For 20% of the class, including me, chose keyboard. I liked music classes and I got good grades, but I saw it just as another subject. It didn't get me interested in more things. I discovered new passions in the meanwhile. I loved studying about space. Other planets and stars were just so fascinating to me. I also liked collecting minerals and stones. Thanos copied me. I wanted to become a geologist, but the passion quickly disappeared. disappeared. Going back to the school life, I've never been physically bullied because I've always been way taller than anybody else, but sometimes I still got mocked for my voice or for my teeth. I've been drinking black tea for breakfast for my whole life, so my teeth were not very white. One day a classmate made fun of my teeth color in front of the whole class, and that destroyed my confidence about smiling and laughing. My shyness prevented me from interacting with other girls in my class, to the point I never really talked to them. In 2006, something big happened. The Italian football team won the World Cup. This really inspired me to start playing football. At around 13 years old, I became a goalkeeper and started to follow my dream of becoming the best goalkeeper ever. I was pretty good during training, but the trouble began when I started playing in official matches. The pressure was just too much for me. At 14, I passed my final middle school exam, and in the same summer, I discovered one of my favorite games of all times, GTA San Andreas. Still no sign of bass. My first year of high school started. As soon as I came back home from school, I would start playing GTA San Andreas online all day, and I quickly became a pro. I still played football, but one day some new players joined our team. I did some mistakes in some important matches, and these new team members were very rude to me. I couldn't keep up, and I wasn't happy at all. I decided to give up my goalkeeper dream. I felt terrible and very sad, and shortly after, I became sick. I had a fever, and no doctor would understand why that was happening to me, and I skipped over 1 month of school, but luckily it wasn't anything serious. Staying so much at home made me play GTA even more than usual. One of the best things about that game was the soundtrack. There was one particular song I loved more than the others. It was from Kiss. So one day I decided to go on YouTube, and I found a live performance of it. Gene Simmons, the bassist, really caught my eyes. Before that day, I didn't even know what a bass was. I discovered many bass cover videos, and I fell in love with bass. I was 16, unsure on what to do. I bought Guitar Hero, but I messed up. There were no Kiss songs, so I did a pro gamer move. I asked my parents to buy me an actual bass. My parents have always been very supportive of all my passions, so we went to the local music store and I got my first bass. Epic. The same day I got the bass, I stopped being sick and got back to school. Incredible. Since that day, all my life turned around. I started a band with my friends and my grades at school skyrocketed. I would pay more attention and do my homework in class, so at home I could play bass all day. I stopped playing GTA and I started taking bass lessons. Once I find something I'm really passionate about, I will learn it very quickly, so I became quite good at bass in a short time. My bass teacher got me into my next big inspiration, Flea. Flea got me into slapping the bass. I bought an audio interface so I could record my bass, and I found some cool drum loops I could use. I started composing my own bass lines. When my friends were out partying or with their girlfriends, I was at home playing bass. I found the first bass YouTubers, and back in 2010, most YouTube videos had terrible quality, so I was like, I can do better videos than them. Lemao. I got my first camera for my 17th birthday. I created my channel, and on June 3rd, 2011, not even 1 year after I picked up bass, I recorded and uploaded my first bass video. My goal was to make bass more popular. I was shocked such a cool instrument was so underrated. One day I came back home from school and I received terrible news. Our cat suddenly passed away. I know this might seem silly, but this is one of the worst moments I can think of. We all really loved our cats. I love cats, but since that day we never had another cat. The pain of losing him was too strong and we didn't want to experience it again. If you have a cat, go pet it now for me. I showed my bass videos to my bass teacher and he decided that his job was done. He told me I could continue learning by myself and he suggested me to join a band with some of his friends, and I did. I kept making videos every week and the feedback I got was very good. I would keep recording on paper how many subs and views I got every day. I finished my high school and passed my final exams with a 100 out of 100 grade, thanks to the power of bass. I started going to university. The university was in another city, Genova, and I would have to wake up before 6 a.m, take a 1-hour train and bus in order to get there on time. By the end of all the classes, I would get back home at late afternoon, very tired, and this heavily affected my YouTube videos. I started losing motivation in playing bass. One day PewDiePie announced a shoutout competition on his channel. I tried to give it a shot, but nothing happened. Life was getting tough. I couldn't keep up both university and making videos. I had to make a choice. One night, the unthinkable happened. I was playing GTA 5 and suddenly got thousands of emails from YouTube. It was very unusual, but then I remembered about Pew's competition. I went to his channel and I found out he featured my channel. It was one of the happiest moments ever. That gave me a huge boost of motivation to continue making videos. I decided to drop out university and I wanted to focus more on my YouTube channel. My parents were very worried and skeptical about this choice, and I can see why. But since then, YouTube officially became my profession. In April 2014, I got a message from a Taiwanese girl. We started to chat and quickly became an online couple. Many videos I made started going viral and I got 100,000 subs. Such a crazy milestone, and it really gave me a boost of confidence in myself. In 2015, I wanted to improve my production skills for my videos, and I decided to go study music production in a college in the UK. I moved to London. I've always lived with my parents, and now I suddenly found myself living alone in another country. It was a great experience and met many international friends there. In the meanwhile, I still was chatting with my girlfriend, but the long distance relationship was tough. And after chatting on Facebook for many years, in 2016 I decided to fly to Taiwan for 2 weeks to meet her for the first time. It felt awkward at first, but after a few days together, we got to know each other on a much deeper level, and I decided to move to Taiwan to stay with her for more months. By the end of 2016, I made my first meme-based video. Modern memes officially entered my channel. Because I couldn't stay in Taiwan for more than 3 months, I had to go back to Italy, and my girlfriend decided to fly back with me. Since then, we never separated. In 2017, we moved to the UK in Brighton, and I had another wave of viral videos there. The biggest one was my 15 strings bass solo. Later that year, I spent almost all my money on a 24 strings bass. My logic was, if 15 string got so many views, 24 strings should get even more views. Quick math, and I was right. Lemao. In the end of 2018, I did my first World Challenge video. We went to Africa. Such an amazing experience. And then in 2019, I started speaking in my videos. And I've never really talked before because I always disliked my voice. And being able to speak opened up a lot of different kind of videos I could make. Fiverr videos, DIY, and epic reveals. And this is my life till today. Bass saved my life. Your support gave me a boost of confidence and allowed me to have fun and just feel happier. Whether you have been following me since the beginning or subscribed yesterday, I appreciate your support and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. In conclusion, in the past, I felt very bad about my flaws. I felt unhappy when people mocked me over something I couldn't change. I know I have a monotone voice, my teeth are not perfect, and I look emotionless. The true success and change in my life happened when I decided to embrace those flaws and own them. So this was my life. I hope this wasn't too boring and I tried to keep it short. Now you know the truth. And I know what you're thinking. What can I possibly reveal next? At 8 million subs, I'm gonna dye my hair and change hairstyle. You know, in all these years, my hair pretty much stayed the same. Same color, same hairstyle. But if we reach 8 million subs, I'm gonna do a pro gamer move and everything about my hair is gonna change. And also, a few months ago, I did an Italian voice reveal, but since then, I didn't speak Italian much, aside from saying stronzo. I'm gonna do a full 100% Italian video at 7.67 million subs. There is a deep reason behind that number, and I will explain that once we reach that goal. And if you think you know what's the reason, leave a comment now. So, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now. Thanks for 7 million subs, and I will see you in the next video. OMG.